Hi there. When you hear an artist use a particular line or word every time you hear the song, or when they want to perform or minister, or you see an artist dressed a particular way, or use a certain accessory every time that you see them, do you think they always find it convenient? Is it something you think they like? What comes to your mind? Well, I'll tell you. It is called branding. I am Queen Tennyson, and in this video, I'll be talking to you about artist branding and image development so that by the end of this video, you'd have been able to understand the key elements of artist branding and image development and how to apply these concepts effectively, especially in the Nigerian music industry. Now, artist branding is simply the process of creating a unique identity and image that sets your artist apart from others. It encompasses everything from visual elements to public persona. Branding is important because a strong brand helps your artist connect with their audience, build loyalty, and create lasting impression. Another thing it does is that it also makes marketing efforts more effective. For example, we all know Burna Boy as Africa's giant, right? Now, this African Giant brand combines Burna Boy's music, his fashion sense, and advocacy for African culture. This, all these things put together is what makes him African Giant. Now, to understand brand identity, you need to reflect, you need reflection, you need to understand your artist's values, the message that your artist wants to pass, and what makes them unique. Ask yourself, what are your artist's core values? What stories do your artist, or what story does your artist want to tell about himself or herself? What makes them different from other artists? Now, remember that in the beginning of this video, I had said that artist branding encompasses both visual elements and public persona. So let's talk about the things or the concepts to keep in mind when talking about artist branding and image development. These include visual branding elements, public persona, social media presence, fashion and style, music and lyrics, storytelling and narrative, collaboration and association, and finally, adaptability and evolution. Let's discuss this concept, right? So, starting with visual branding elements, you need to think about things like logo and name. Your artist should have a distinctive logo and a memorable stage name. These things are crucial for branding. For instance, we have Davido, but we know that we refer to him as OBO. So when you hear OBO, you know we're talking about Davido. Whether or not you know the meaning of OBO, but you know we're talking about Davido. So also a person like or a minister like Minister Dunson, we refer to him as the eagle. When you hear the eagle, you know we're referring to Minister Dunson. So these are stage names or nicknames that are associated with these artists that keep them in our minds that are associated with their brand. The next thing to consider under this is color schemes, right? Consistent use of colors that represents the artist brand. For example, Yemi Alade often uses vibrant Afrocentric colors and patterns when with whatever that is connected with her brand. The third thing is typography. Fonts used in promotional materials should align with your artist image, right? This could be using a particular font style for every time your artist name is put on a graphic design, on a video, on a book, on anything. Think of it more like a signature. Your signature is peculiar to you, so that font style might be associated with your artist. This is branding. The next thing is imagery, right? This refers to professional photos and album artworks that reflect your artist brand. For example, Wizkid's album covers often feature Afro-futuristic themes. This is branding. The next concept is developing a public persona. This is basically personality and behavior. It is the way an artist conducts themselves in public when they're out of their homes, including when they go for interviews, social media, and interactions, even when they go out to a restaurant to have food, right? It is very important to maintain a consistent persona that aligns with your artist's brand identity, right? It makes it easier for people to identify with them. It makes it easier for people who like a certain personality to identify with them. For instance, if Fela Kuti's outspoken and rebellious personality was a key part of his brand, right? Periodede is soft-spoken, gentle, and humble, and that is how he is consistently, no matter where you find him. Emesi Chinwo is always playful and smiling, and that's how you see her wherever she is. If she's not ministering, if she's not posting her songs on social media, if she's posting a regular video of her, you see that she's always playful and joyful. That is her brand. The next concept is social media presence. Now, while talking social media presence, there are a few things that you need to consider. Number one, platform selection. Not every platform works for every artist and every content. So first, you need to choose the platform where your target audience or your artist target audience is most active. It could be Instagram, it could be X, it could be Facebook, it could be TikTok. Know where your fan base are and select the appropriate channel for your artist. Second thing is content strategy, right? Secondly, after selecting the right platform for your artist, you need to plan and create content that align with your artist brand and the platform where they have the highest fan base. For instance, if you have funny videos on TikTok, it will go more viral than it will probably go on Instagram. So you need to know what goes where and how it aligns with your artist brand. The third thing is engagement, right? Your artists need to interact with their fans to build a loyal community. It's not enough to identify what goes where and what platform works better for your artist. They also need to be up and doing and interact with their audience. The next concept is a personal favorite of mine. It's fashion and style, right? This refers to having a signature look as an artist, something that we identify you with. Your artist needs to develop a unique fashion style that complements their brand. For instance, a Pretty Manuel does songs that resonate with the younger fan base. So you would always see him dressed in a way that gives that Gen Z steez and all of that vibe, right? A period has a pattern, whether he's wearing a native, urban, or corporate outfit. He always comes correct. He always comes clean. And Mercy Chinwo would always have her beret on. You can't find her without her beret. So also a Minister Yada would always have if her fascinator wherever she's going, whenever she's going to minister. These are little things that we use in identifying these people, right? To create a signature look, you can consider collaborations. As an artist, you don't only collaborate with your fellow artists on songs. You can collaborate with fashion designers and brands to create distinctive looks for your artist. For example, Minister Preo Dede collaborates with script clothiers. Moses Bliss does the same thing with Shades of Bliss, and other artists collaborate with a lot of other fashion designers or brands to give them a signature look. And if you have a lot of visibility, you might have get these outfits for free or almost free, as the case may be. The next concept is music and lyrics. This is simply being consistent with your sound, consistency in sound, right? You need to develop a signature sound that fans can identify you with. For instance, if you hear a Minister Dunsin's song, you know that it is his song because there's a consistency in his songs. If you hear a Minister Priyo Odede's songs, you don't need anybody to tell you that this is a Minister Priyo Odede's song. There's a consistency in the lyrics, there's a flow of how his songs are or how his songs sound. For instance, also a few weeks ago, I overheard some people having a conversation. I wasn't eavesdropping, I wasn't part of the conversation, but they were just talking close to me. And one said, all of Wizkid's songs, you will hear she tell me, say, she tell me, say. That is something that has been consistent in most of his lyrics. So you see that a particular fan base have been able to identify that, and that's part of branding. The next thing to consider under music and lyrics is thematic elements, right? Consider incorporating themes that align with your brand. For example, Simi is soulful and relatable in her lyrics and in her music. Ejo Praise is joyful and energetic. A Mr. Emma Revelation gives you indigenous, energetic, yet soulful music. These are themes that go cut across all of their songs and is something that we can identify. The next concept is storytelling and narrative, right? This is about crafting a story for your artist. There should be a backstory for your artist, something that is compelling and relatable. You need to develop a compelling backstory that resonates with your artist audience. Who do you want them to see your artist as or know your artist as? Do you want them to see him as the poor kid that came from Ajegule to Forbes, or the school dropout who hustled and finally made it, or the one from a broken home who God has raised, or a choir kid from a loving family who God has been using from childhood? What is the backstory? How do you want people to see your artist? Then, when you have done this, you need to share their journey, right? Basically, information or content that they are okay with. They must be okay with being able to share this in public domain, because there are some if I have a story, for instance, of the kid who's from a broken home and who God has used or raised to a particular pedestal, I wouldn't want certain information about my family to be shared online. So you need to be sure that your artist is comfortable with sharing those aspects of their lives before you put it out online. Now, you can do this with things like documentaries, interviews, social media posts, and all whatnot, right? So this is basically sharing your artist's growth from where they used to be to where they are at the moment, and where they are going to, and how they've kept keeping on, for lack of better words, right? Now, the next thing or concept is collaborations and association. You know, with the fashion thing, I said you could collaborate with brands and you could collaborate with fashion designers. Now, your artist needs to do strategic collaborations, partner with other artists, right? With brands, with influencers. But remember that these artists, brands, and influencers must align with your artist brand. You can't expect a Portable to feature a Minister Dunson. Their brands don't align, right? So you need to think brand alignment when thinking about these collaborations, right? Most people have won Grammys just from being featured on other people's songs. So that's how powerful these collaborations can be for your artist brand. The next thing to look at under here is endorsement, right? Select endorsements and sponsorships that enhance your brand image or your artist brand image. Imagine your artist being a brand ambassador for if company like Apple or Samsung, or a brand that people trust. Imagine what that can do for your artist visibility and your artist brand. The last and final thing I'll be talking about is adaptability and evolution, right? This refers to staying relevant. The industry is an ever changing industry. It's evolving every day. Your artist cannot stay the same. So your artist brand should be able to adapt to these changes and stay relevant in the ever-changing industry, rather, while maintaining their core identity. This means that you need to think innovation, right? Your artist needs to continually innovate their music, their style, and their content to keep your audience engaged. You cannot bring a song that my father used to listen to in the 1980s and expect that this generation would vibe to those songs. So because things are changing and evolving, you need to you need to know the changes that are coming. You need to know how the market is changing, how everything or the industry is changing, and you need to help your artist adapt to these changes, right? This is why you see certain artists who have been relevant from beginning of days still being relevant. It's not rocket science. It's not like they are God's favorites, or there's something that extraordinary that they are doing. It's just that um they are aware of these changes and they are able to adapt to these changes without losing their core essence. For example, Itimida Kolo, right? Timida Kolo has been doing music for as long as I can remember. Before we had the likes of Johnny Drill, before we had Chike, before we had Rick Hassani, he has been doing music about love, music that we love and enjoy. We enjoyed his music then, we're still enjoying his music now. My mother can listen to his music and I can listen to his music. My nephews and nieces can listen to his music and we still find him relevant. So also a Chioma Jesus has been singing from like when I was a baby. Yes, when I was a child rather, not a baby, because I mean I was self-aware at the time. But you see that she's still as relevant as someone who started doing gospel music 5 years ago or 3 years ago or 2 years ago. It's not rocket science. They've just been able to identify the changes and to move with the tide. Hence, they are still relevant and their roots are still very, very, very evident. So you need to help your artist brand to adapt to the changes in the industry. Now, what should you do? Find or identify a successful Nigerian artist, anyone that probably has the same values as your artist. Analyze their brand elements, their logo, their visual style, their social media presence, their public persona, music themes, their fashion styles, and all of these concepts I've talked about, right? And then think about how these elements have contributed to their overall brand and success, and then see ways which you can use them or use that as a template to help your artist with their branding. I hope that you now have a better understanding of artist branding and image development so that you can help yourself and help your artist. If you're an artist manager or if you're an independent artist, you can help yourself brand yourself better and develop your image better. Once again, I am Queen Tennyson. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. I love you.